don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman, because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Woo. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Sorry we were a bit late. Our magical being that is StreamYard gave us a new toy to play with, and we're going to experiment with it here in just a moment as we get into all of this. We've got a lot to dissect. Yes, Kate, I just saw that message. Good stuff. Hey, we got a lot to get to tonight, and we're going to play with this new toy, and you guys all get to have fun with the toy too, I hope. We will see. Specifically, just here right up front, just because it was what I put in as a tester, people from Madison County. Tonight's episode, we're going to be focusing on Muncie. Specifically, again, we're talking about the budget process. I know this is like real crazy, but the council has been firing shots at the mayor and the mayor's administration. In some cases, rightfully so. In other cases, extremely rightfully so. But the mayor isn't just taking it lying down. He says, no. I want to fire back some shots too. So the mayor has actually taken some attempts at firing back at, I say the council, but it's mostly just Nora. Let's just be honest. It's mostly just Nora. So it is what it is. We'll get into all of that. We'll talk about all of that. We've got a lot of other things to talk about. We got this new toy to look at here, and I'm sure we'll use this. I think if it works, we'll use it a lot. I already have some suggestions I'm going to have to write to the techies on the other end, but we will get there. My name is Kristopher Bilbrey. I'm your host. This is the 300. I'm so dyslexic. This is the 531st episode of the Political Spotlight. Producer Kate is here at the controls doing what she does, making sure everything runs smoothly, putting your comments up, engaging with you, engaging with me, and smoking them if she's got them. And I'm sure she has them. She's not the chair, so she didn't hear that at the moment. But we're here, and we're gonna get it going. Hey, before we get started here, if you would, smash that like button, click the bell, do all of that stuff, share the show with everyone you know, communicate with us if you want to. You got to communicate over there if you're watching live. If you're here via the replay button in the future, comment down below. We will get back to you We love talking to our people. Also, here are our links. The Political Spotlight. We're live 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, always. Unless we aren't, or unless we're also here on a Friday or Saturday. You know how it goes. It is what it is. There are our links, YouTube, Rumble, our 2 Facebook pages, our X account, the studio line, and the 2 email accounts that you can get in contact with us many, many, many different ways. And we love to hear from you. Before we get on with the show, I do want to let everyone know that we are going to be doing the big VIP event tomorrow, the little thing that we're going to be doing. And the whole reason around that has nothing to do with the Political Spotlight. It actually has something to do with another show. Once we get through Saturday, when you guys are back here Sunday, I probably won't ever talk about the other show again other than to plug it and just say, hey, it's coming up. We won't talk about it nightly, but I just got to get through this premiere, and then it'll be back to normal. Episode 001 of the Bilbrey and Clark Show drops Saturday, September 27th, 2025 at 3 p.m. 001, the Bilbrey and Clark Show drops Saturday, September 27th at 3 p.m. You can tune in and watch that by going to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Bilbrey Clark Show. And then you can watch it just like you're watching this. We will share that link on my personal Facebook page, on the Bilbrey Clark Show Facebook page. We'll also share it at Twitter at Bilbrey X Clark or x.com/Bilbrey X Clark. You can also hear it if you want to hear just the podcast, the audio version only. You can find us on iTunes, on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, all of that stuff. You can also go to the home link, which is bilbreyclarkshow.fireside.fm. I want to be very clear because even my guest, even the host is the co-host is getting this confused. The title of the show is The Bilbrey and Clark Show. The Bilbrey and Clark Show. The little and or writing out and in all of the hyperlinks is stupid. So we've left that out. So when you type it up, it's Bilbrey Clark Show, Bilbrey Clark Show, Bilbrey Clark Show, at Bilbrey Clark Show, Bilbrey X Clark. The show is called The Bilbrey and Clark Show. Just FYI, there's been some apparently confusion over this, but I wanted to clear that up. If you are interested in attending the event tomorrow, I got the okay to open it up and to tell people where it is and what's going on. If you want to attend, the event tomorrow is at 6 p.m. at Twin Lions in Newcastle. Twin Lions, 1327 Broad Street, Newcastle, Indiana, 47362. I want to let everyone know, if you are interested in attending tomorrow evening's pre-show, that's what the deal is. And I'm going to let everybody know just right up front, from my point of view, why we're doing this. And this is kind of my fault. It's kind of Rachel's fault. It's kind of just the nature of the beast. And I want to let everybody know it won't be like this going forward. So in getting a lot of the stuff ready, dropping a podcast and starting a brand new show from scratch is a tough thing to do. And you need content to be able to send it out, to open up the channels for the podcast and things like this. And we did something that was kind of weird. We recorded episode 1 way back like on the 13th or 14th, 15th of September. And it's going to air in 2 days. Now, because of everything that was going on and all the stuff that's been going on, obviously we've had a lot going on in our culture, in our world over the last couple of weeks. A lot of the coverage in the show for Saturday has to do with the Charlie Kirk situation. Now, at the time that we recorded that show, we knew that there was a suspect in custody. We had that there. So basically everything that we still know now, we knew then. Like, there have been new upgrades and new things that have happened, but it's not like there's a whole lot of outdated information. I just want everybody to be aware that when you watch Saturday's show, if you're so inclined, there is a little bit of delay between when we recorded and when we aired. From now on, it won't be that way. When we do the episodes, they will be very close to when we do it. The day before, at most the week before. I just want to let everybody know. And a lot of times it won't matter because we'll be talking about evergreen topics. Sometimes if we're talking about like things that are topical, we'll do that the day of, maybe earlier in the day or the night before. So I just want everybody to be aware of that. I think I'm a little nervous for that reason because I've been doing this for so long, and it's like we all know the punchline to the joke, but I'm not making this a joke. You get what I'm saying. So just want everybody to be aware of that. That's why we're kind of doing something special with it, so we can kind of also talk. We plan to talk about it. We've got some other thoughts. We might go live from there tomorrow after the event. We're not going to go live on YouTube. It would be on the social medias, and it will not be the political spotlights. So be aware for that. If you are interested in coming, it is Twin Lions at 1327 Broad Street, Newcastle, Indiana, 47362. You can still send a message to bcshowdump@gmail.com or text me or whatever. If you want to ask questions, it is a free event to get into. We will have merch. We will have some shirts and some other things, show merch for you guys. It'll be fun. There is food there. You will have to purchase the food if you're so inclined. There is drinks there, Coke and things like that. And I want to be real clear. Twin Lions is an awesome location. The people that go there, you're going to be blown away. It's a very nice, cozy little atmosphere where you can kind of sit, like it's quiet. It's not loud. It's not like a rowdy bar scene or anything like that. It's just like a nice little restaurant, kind of a gathering place. It's a very cool thing. It's very cool what they're doing. I want to give a big shout out to the Twin Lions people. And they're helping us out. They're giving us this space and allowing us to do this and really hooking us up. So a great big shout out to the Twin Lions people. And I want you guys to know that if you have events, if you need to go do something like this or whatever, please get use them or do whatever you need to do. It's very, very cool. And we will give them shout outs also into the future. So if you're interested in going, let me know there. So, yes. Listen, very interesting news. I was told this, and I was told that I could not mention this. Really quickly, this is new information. And I didn't know that it would be talked about tonight. I actually thought it was going to be next month. Jackie Fisher here says that Muncie, Delaware County Board of Zoning Appeals just concluded its September 25th meeting, 3-hour meeting at 9:10. Wow, McDonald's is coming to Southeast Muncie and a senior citizen complex on 600 East Weiser. Yeah, I can talk about both of those. McDonald's is going to be going over. It's going to be, if I remember right, Jackie. I think that it's going off of either 26th Street or 29th Street, I believe. It's going to be wild that it's going to be over there. That's kind of a strange place for a restaurant to be. Kind of a wild location, but kind of cool. I mean, that's just going to be weird. I actually heard this on Monday when I was speaking at my speaking engagement, so that's kind of cool. And then this senior citizen apartment complex that's going to be at 600 East Weiser, for those people that were like, where's that at? If you think about the old Munson car lot, if you're on Madison Street and you turn onto Weiser, like you're going to go around Martin Luther King or Broadway there by the park, the old Munson car lot, it's basically going to be right behind that there, and they're going to put that in, and pretty wild stuff. I had the paperwork to all of that and stuff, so pretty crazy. We will be exploring both of those as we get a little closer. I'll also tell you there are some new gas stations that are currently in the works, and they're big gas stations, like truck stop style gas stations, that are going to be coming in also to the area on the north west side of the city in the coming months and or year or so. And so that's an interesting thing. And I believe still yet even another hotel, which is really wild. But we can talk about all of that as we get closer. Before we get into any of that, we've got to get through this 2026 budget in Muncie. And it feels like we're getting closer to the deadline, but we're getting crazy. We are getting more tense, and it seems like things are getting more out of control. No, not Buc-ee's. It's not going to be a Wawa. It's not going to be a Wawa. And it's not going to be a Buc-ee's. And so that's kind of the thing. So, okay. I've got a couple more just crazy quick topics before we get to the heart of the show. Number one, I want to put this up and let you guys see this. This is the new tool they've given us to help bring information to you. For those of you that watched last night when Catherine and I were on and we were talking about the 2026 proposed budget for Madison County, one of the things that we were talking about was people were wondering, can I see the proposed itemized budget? And I immediately said, well, yes, you can. And Catherine said, no, you can't. They tell us that we can't see it. And I said, well, that's complete bullshit, because you can see it. Matter of fact, it's new money issues. It's a public document, public requestable record, requestable. They have to give it. They don't have a choice. And if they have told someone no, that those people they've told no need to get in contact with me. We need to file an issue. I will have that record request within the next day or so. And I will tell you, myself and a couple of other people have been working on this, and we received the full proposed itemized budget. I had it within probably about 14 hours of the show. So we talked about it last night. We went off at about 11 o'clock. And I had it by about 12:30 or noon, 12:30, 1 o'clock today. I've posted the Madison County proposed budget. This is not the final thing. This is what the county council is working on. It's the big thing they're working on. I've posted this on my social media so you guys can get this if you so are interested in this. If you go on there, it's under today, a posting for today. So it'll be titled 0925-25, and it says Madison County proposed budget. However, I have made a QR code with the new toy that they've given us, and I'm going to put it up on the screen now. So if there are any of you from Madison County or elsewhere in the state that would be interested at looking at the Madison County proposed budget, the budget as they're currently working on, then take your phone out, take your smartphone, open the camera, and start to take a picture of that little square up there. You might have to blow the screen up, or you might have to get the camera really close. I would like to tell them what I would like them to do is I would like them to actually make it bigger, and I would like them to pull it down into kind of like this area right here, or hell, even in front of my face, a big box long enough to do it. But this will now allow us, when we put up pictures, or when I tell you guys that we have like lots of documents that I'm going to have to share on social media after the show, now I don't have to do that. Now I can take that link, create a QR code, and bam, put it right up there on the screen for you guys to see. So although we're going to be talking about Muncie, and this is going to be a Muncie-centric show, I did want to let everybody know, I got the budget. Budget is up there, and you now, too, can have the budget by clicking that. And if that doesn't work for you, if you're not techie, you can just simply go to my Facebook page and get it from there. If you don't have Facebook, get a hold of me another way and I can get it to you. But that's that. It's there. And so that's the cool toy. And that's why we were a little late. Kate and I were playing with that before we came on. We were trying to get it to operate. So that is cool. And I'm going to hide this right now. I'm not going to delete it yet, because if anybody wants this later in the show or at some point, you can hit me up and I will put it up before the end of the show. But there that is. So that's cool. All right. The very last thing that I have to say, then we're going to get on to Ridenour's craziness, is today, ladies and gentlemen, today is apparently, I did not know this. I guess every day can be a day. I was contacted by a viewer and told this. Today is National Remembrance of Homicide Victims Day. I did not know this. Because of that, we want to take a moment to remember anyone and everyone that has been affected by the horrible crime of homicide. That's really weird to me, because homicide is not illegal. Homicide is just the taking of human life. Some of that can be legal. It really should be murder, honestly, because murder is illegal. So that's kind of strange. People use those interchangeably, but it is what it is. I will look at it as National Remembrance of Murder Victims Day, I guess, whatever. But we will highlight one of the viewers that's been here for a while from Madison County, Megan, the viewer here, whose mother was deceased, and she's been fighting for this. The mother was, it was ruled to be a natural death, and Megan did not think that that was correct, and Megan got a whole bunch of paperwork, put the paperwork together, had a bunch of different people look at it. I looked it over just very briefly. To be honest, I didn't look it over fully or hardly at all, and I thought, man, she's really going to have a hard time with this. And she put it together, and she barked, and she bitched, and she moaned, and she fought, and she did what she needed to do for her mother, which a lot of times that's what you've got to do. And they actually overturned that and arrested her mother's, I don't know if it was a husband or boyfriend or ex-husband or live-in connected person, domestic relation partner. not Megan's father, but just a boyfriend or husband or something like that. And they actually arrested him for murder, and he is going to be tried, and the case is still pending. So he's been arrested, but there is a criminal prosecution. So that'll be cool. And one of these days, maybe we'll talk with her once the case is wrapped up, and we'll figure out what the hell's going on there and see what goes on. But that's that. And so keep her and her mother and all other victims of murder, I guess, and other homicide, if you were so inclined, in your thoughts, I guess. So that's that. Okay, now, husband. So yes. Okay, so on to Muncie. The budget process, like everywhere, has been crazy. Ridenour started the process off on the wrong foot. He didn't provide the budget to the council in July. He didn't appear as though he wanted to work with the council in any way on the budget, which, he should. He should want to work with them back and forth, communicating, going back and forth. And we all know what we've watched out of the finance committee meetings. It seems like Ridenour and his administration, and when I say that, I mean all of them. I mean everybody. I mean all the department heads. When I mean the administration, I want you to understand there are a couple different parts of city government. You have in Muncie city government as an umbrella, you have a couple of different sections. You have the city clerk, who is their own section. City clerk's office cannot be fired by the mayor. They cannot be fired. No one in there can be fired by the mayor. It's all has to be handled through the elected clerk. You have city court judge, who is an elected official, and she's in charge of her people. You then have the mayor, and the mayor is like the biggest part, because under the mayor, you have the police department, the fire department, the street department, the building commissioners, just every other aspect of city government other than city council. Then you have the city council. They are their own part. They're the legislative body and the fiscal body, the representative body. The mayor is in charge of all of the other people, and that grouping of people that respond to the mayor, I refer to as the administration. When we're talking about the city administration, I'm referring to the mayor, his department heads, his appointed figures, and anyone and everyone under that mayoral umbrella. Specifically, when I'm talking about the budget, however, and I'm talking about Ridenour or the administration, I'm really meaning Dan, his controller, Craig Wright, and the deputy controller, Matt Wegley. Those people. Okay. I'm not a fan of Craig Wright, just to be perfectly honest. I think everybody knows that. I'm also not a fan of Matt Wegley. I think that the Wegleys are detestable little insects. They are little buggy people that are just like, they're like anal bugs. They're like those little bugs that crawl up into your anus and just bug the hell out of you. Whoa! We got Doug Marshall in the house. And this is not the other 7 Doug Marshalls in Muncie. or the Royerton area. This is not the Doug Marshall that's been testifying in front of the county council. This is not the other Doug Marshall that's like the baseball guy over by DeSoto. This is not another Doug Marshall. This is former city councilor Doug Marshall. Used to be adversarial enemy of mine. We would go back and forth sometimes, but I like Doug. Haven't seen or heard or talked to Doug in a long time. Hello, Doug. I hope you're doing well. The original OG. Really, it's actually the original DM, but it is what it is. How you doing, Doug? I hope you're doing well. I hope everything's well with you. It's been a long time since I talked to you, so I'm glad you're still kicking and doing well. He's poking in. Hey, we've got 2 years until the municipal elections, and I see what he's doing. He's plugging in and getting his feet wet because he's going to run and he's going to take over that council again. And I see it right now. Are you announcing right here and right now your run for District 1? I can see it. I can see it from his writing right there. Never again. Spoken like a true politician, which means we'll see his name on the ballot come May 2027. Done forever. Well, I think it would be amazing. Hey, Doug, you can listen. You're back just in time to become a Republican. You could come back just in time to become a Republican, and it could be a Republican sweep. I knew that would get you going. Someone told me you moved. I said, there's no way he moved. Are you kidding me? Independent. That sounds about right. I could deal with that. I knew you didn't move. I knew that was bullcrap. I knew you were still sneaky snaking around here somewhere. I know right where you are. I knew you hadn't left anywhere. South Side. Hey, you didn't hear? You guys are getting ready to get a McDonald's down there by you. You guys are getting ready to get a McDonald's down there. Did you hear this? Holy shit. Did you really? How did that go? I'll give you a call tomorrow. I'd like to talk to you. I haven't talked to you in a long time. I'd be interested in what you got to say. I can't believe that. Yeah, McDonald's coming to the southeast side of where did she say? Southeast corner of South Macedonia and 29th Street. Woo! That's crazy. Well, I hope that liver transplant went well for you. I hope all's well with that. I knew that you were having some trouble, but I didn't know what had happened. So I hope everything's going well with that. March 12th. Wait a minute. That's my stepdad's birthday, March 12th. March 12th, 2024 liver transplant. So you're a year and several months out. So is everything going well with that? McDonald's is bad for the new liver. Yeah, that's probably true. You can go in there, go through and get a water. Well, I hope everything's going well with that. I'll give you a shout, and we can shoot the shit for a little bit. I'm glad you popped on. I knew you sent me poked me or followed me or sent me a friend request or something. The anti-rejection meds suck. Yeah, I've always heard that. I've always heard that. And like, you got to take that like for 10 years or 15 years or maybe the rest of your life or something. I don't know. I've always heard that's a really bad thing. Crazy. Well, all right, bro. Yeah, I got you. What are you talking about? Unless you've changed that, I've got your number. I'll give you a holler. I'll give you a holler tomorrow and see what you're doing. Answer. I'll call you tomorrow. So all right. Well, thank you for stopping in. I'll give you a holler tomorrow. I'm glad to talk to you. It's been a minute, so I'll give you a shout. Okay. So, Nora doing what Nora does, has been taking shots at the mayor. And, I know we're back up before we get there. Been taking shots at the controller. Yeah, I can do that. I'll do that, brother. I'll call you early. Been taking shots at the mayor and the controller and deputy controller. Now, I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of Craig Wright. I don't like Matt Wegley either, but if I were Dan, I would get rid of Craig Wright in a heartbeat, and I would put Wegley in as the controller because he seems to be more in line with what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, he knows what's going on, and he talks more than Craig. And Craig just seems like he doesn't know what's going on ever. So Nora, made the big fight. She wanted to have the information about the health department, or not the health department, the health clinic, the health insurance, and all of that. And they wanted something from the agent or the company. Look, that just makes sense. You want to verify what they're telling you. You cannot just take Ridenour at his word. Are you kidding? We know better than that. You can't take Dan at his word. You can't take Craig at his word. You can't take Wegley at their word. So it's just common sense. It shouldn't have even needed to be a Democrat. Like, the Republicans should have said that. The Republicans should have said, which, and to be honest, quote unquote, the Republicans did, because newly minted Republican Brandon Garrett asked for something to be put in place for them to know it. And he wanted it sooner rather than later. I think Dale Basham maybe even kind of hinted around about wanting something. Nora definitely said it. I think Sarah said it, and then everybody else just kind of, whatever. Craig is evasive. Wegley is very tuned in to facts and figures. That's true. Whoever's facts and figures, we might not know. We don't know if they're valid or truthful facts and figures, but he is at least tuned into some sort of facts and figures. Whatever or whoever's facts and figures they are, that's yet to be determined, but you are correct. You are correct. Basically nothing. You missed everything about the show and the Twin Lions plug and everything. You missed the very best part of everything. So basically, you're just going to have to go back and rewind it. And why are you here on Facebook, Rachel? Jesus. All of my people kill me. Catherine kills me. Rachel kills me. Kate is the only person, the only one that knows my struggles. So Kate was right. Kate's like, so Dan sent a rude email explaining that the savings are real and the council should just smile and a nod and rubber stamp it. Basically. So how do we know and what am I talking about? Well, this morning, pretty early, the city of Muncie and I can only assume that would be the city of Muncie under the watchful eye of the communications director, who currently is on the fence on whether or not she's going to have her job funded or not. The communications director put out well, you know what? Interesting. They didn't put it on the communications page. I've got a problem with that. Give me 1 second here. Ooh, I got a problem with this. So on the City of Muncie's page, wait a minute. What? Where is this? Did they delete it? Okay, no. Okay. Whew, I was really freaking out there for a minute. All right. On the City of Muncie's page at 11:55, the following happened. Yes, Total Madness, I am happy. City of Muncie 2026 budget update. And this is coming out of this is from the desk of the communications director, Amber Green. At the September 23rd budget hearing, several important questions were raised. Mayor Ridenour followed up with detailed answers, which we want to share with the community. Point 1, property tax reduction. For 2026, the city will see a $1.4 million decrease in property tax revenue. However, this shortfall is already being addressed. Savings are coming from 1, lower health insurance premiums. Employees will actually pay less in 2026 than in 2025. Increases in other city revenues. However, it doesn't say what. Reductions in certain expenses, although it doesn't say what. Point number 2, edit funds. In addition, the mayor has pledged $900,000 in edit funds per year to cover the difference, ensuring the general fund remains stable and employees' salaries are supported. Number 3, investing in employees. The budget also accounts for salary increases across departments, police, fire, AFSCME, and elected officials, totaling $839,034.05 from 2005 to 2026, from 2025 to 2026. These raises help keep Muncie competitive with other cities and retain valuable employees who provide essential services. The bottom line, the $1.4 million property tax shortfall is being more than made up through savings, increased revenue, and edit support. There is no financial reason for major cuts to city services in the 2026 budget. The city of Muncie remains committed to fiscal responsibility while investing in our employees and maintaining the services our residents expect and deserve. A link to the budget is provided below. Okay. That's how the communications director worded it. What she had to work from was a pair of emails that the mayor sent to the council at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, September 23rd. So a couple hours before the council met. So Dan sent this email at 2 p.m. The council then made their comments at 6 p.m. And then the mayor responded again on Wednesday early morning. Stand by, Total Madness. I'll get back to that in a second. So prior to the meeting, the mayor said the following. Nora and other council members, I was not copied on recent emails to department heads from the finance chair, so wasn't aware of the questions until recently. For simplicity reasons, I will be responding to these questions on behalf of these department leaders, so don't expect answers from them directly. Now, listen. I don't know how I feel about that message. I honestly don't know how I feel about that.
It's again a case of this is what I say, so this is what goes. So shut up and deal with it.
That's exactly.
You don't have the right to the information that I do. You're just the ones that have to approve the budget.
Yeah. That's exactly.
And you're the ones that are going to be in trouble if you pass a budget that's fraudulent.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Rachel says, tell me Dan's a control freak without telling me he's a control freak.
Him sending this email does not negate the council's request to have copies from the insurance company showing these savings.
Well, no. Period. This is before she requested that. Wait till you hear he sends.
I've been reading ahead.
Okay. But you're right. Absolutely.
But it doesn't negate it.
Absolutely.
The controller still needs to get that information to the council.
Absolutely.
Because sending this complicated, convoluted math problem is not an answer.
No, not at all. And I'll tell you. So there's always been this question, right? Is it appropriate for the council to message the department heads or employees or email them or call them or walk up to them or shadow them or ride with them or do whatever throughout the day? And the answer is hell yes, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. That's stupid for even asking it, beyond all shadow of any possibility. Yes, 1,000,000 billion %. It is perfectly okay for any one of those 9 council members to contact each and every employee the city has, to contact every department head, to have all phone calls, email calls, lunch dates, and whatever else. If the council wants to talk to those employees or department heads, they are permitted to do that. Dan cannot stop that. He can like it, he cannot like it, and he can kiss their ass and stand and bend right over and kiss mine, because they are permitted to do that whether he likes it or not. They are employees of the city. They are employees of those counselors. They are employees of ours. Those counselors pay their salaries. Those counselors represent them. And it is perfectly fine for Nora or any other elected counselor to contact these employees. Now, is it okay for Dan to say, I would like to be carbon copied? It's okay for him to request it. If the employee says, I would like to have a discussion with you without the mayor present, then the mayor has to piss off. The council can have discussions with these people without the mayor's involvement, and he can just not like it. And that's tough. So him being a little passive aggressive, not even really passive aggressive, just kind of aggressive is ridiculous. Yeah, I think it's probably polite for the council to, if they're going to send out like a blanket thing to maybe include the mayor, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the mayor asking. But at the end of the day, if the council doesn't want to be polite to the mayor, they don't have to be. They could say, no, we're not doing that. Well, I'm working on that too. I'll get that here in a minute. You're kind of jumping ahead. I'll get that. I'm hoping I have that in a minute. I should have that here in just a minute. I will look and we will see. So moving on. Now, keep in mind, these questions came before yesterday's meeting, Tuesday's meeting. These questions came at 2 p.m. Then the council met at 6. Then the next email Ridenour said, question answer. The working foreman and foreman in parks are the same position. Salary ordinance has one title, budget has another. It's just one position. Where are the attachments Dan sent with that email? And the council is well within their rights to say we don't want to hear from you. We want to hear from the department. Absolutely. That's exactly right, Kate. That's 100%. 100%. Question, answer. Yes, there were 26 pays in 2024 and 2025. Question, answer. One question that seems to be common item is the cost of salary increase from one year to another. I view things from a total budget spectrum, not departmental. So I will respond for the departments. Police from 2025 to 2026 is $330,917.86. Fire from 25 to 26 is $331,249.16. AFSCME Civil 25-26 is $159,484.12. Elected 25 to 26 is $17,382.91. Total $839,034.05. I am certain that the council understands that cutting salaries simply makes the retention and recruitment of employees a bigger challenge than it already is. I am hopeful that this city council will not be making reductions in pay. This type of action can lead us down a road of losing team members. Staff reductions, either by cutting positions or by reducing salaries, places the service that Muncie residents have been used to receiving at risk. Let's work together to not make this happen. We are on the same team, the residents of Muncie's team. Well, Dan, it's time for you to pull your head out of your ass and start acting like that. It's time for your team members in your administration to start asking like that. I'm still waiting on record requests that I've been waiting on for 3, 4, 5 months now. Okay? If Dan has to chip in $900,000 in edit money, then there is a shortfall. Yeah, right. If we're on the same team, maybe he should chip in more. Maybe he should give away a little bit more of his edit money. It has been and will continue to be my goal to invest in our employees with salary increases. These increases have greatly exceeded those raises paid by the last two administrations. I am proud of that fact. I believe that these yearly incremental increases provided have helped us get closer to the types of wages competitive with other cities. There is more to do, and I would like to do more. However, state pressures with revenues make increases beyond 4% very unlikely this year and next year for most employees. To help the general fund afford these increases of 4% in the city budget, I have pledged edit funds for the next 2 years at roughly $900,000 per year. This 2026 budget is using the cash the administration has saved over recent years to cover the difference. I believe that the employees of the City of Muncie are worth this investment of edit funds, and I hope the council agrees. Best regards. Okay, so that was his response before the meeting started. Then the meeting started, and Nora and others went ballistic, rightfully so. And this is what he wrote at 8:30 Wednesday morning. City Council, I don't want to confuse anyone for responding to a question asked to someone else at the Finance Committee. But at last night's Finance Committee meeting, the chair wanted proof, not from the mayor, of the premiums for health insurance. I have copied the premium schedule they provided us below. Okay? He's doing what she specifically said she did not want. She does not want an email from Dan explaining what the savings will be. She wants something in writing from the company. And while I might be able to tell you what a lunatic Nora is in all these other different ways, you will never hear me claim that she's wrong in asking for what she's asking for here. She is perfectly logical and within her right, and it's perfectly reasoned, and it just absolutely makes sense, and I'm all for it. Yeah, listen. Well, if Dan will even give her the name, if Dan will even tell her who that is, maybe she's just got to start calling insurance companies. Hey, do you represent the City of Muncie? Hello? No, do you represent the City of Muncie? Hey, do you represent the City of Muncie? Who represents the City of Muncie? It shows the first section of the premiums we paid in 2025 as a city and how much employees were required to pay. EE equals employee coverage with 206 on the plan, on that plan. Then ES equals employees and spouse with 99 on that plan. Then EC equals employee and children with 72 on that plan. Lastly, FAM equals family coverage with 199 on that plan. Next, the premiums for 2026 with the same categories and numbers of insured. To calculate the savings, take 206. Do you have a calculator? Can you do this math here real quick? To calculate the savings, take 206 in 2025 multiplied by the premium of 941.04 and tell me, does that equal 193,854.24? Okay, Kate says that that's correct. Then multiply that by 12 months, and the 2025 premiums for EE coverage is $2,326,240.88. Is that right? Okay, that's right. For 2026, follow the same process. Okay, so now clear that off. So this is 206 times 812.12, so 812.12, and that should come out to 167,296.72. Good. Then times that by 12 months, and we should come up with 2,007,560.64. Good. The savings on employee EE is the coverages is the savings is, which that's a wrong sentence, 318,616.08. Is that, I mean, if you take, so how you would get that is by taking those two numbers by each other, which that would make sense. Okay, then, so he goes on and he says, repeat the process for all the other coverages, ES, EC, F, and then add them together, and the total annual savings is $182,966.08. In addition, since I became mayor, we have added a clause which was agreed to by all three bargaining units. Agreements that say employees share into the up or down of premiums. That means for employees enrolled in the EE plan, they will pay $177 less in premiums in 2026 than they are in 2025. Our premiums are down, and I want employees to benefit, which they will. So this 2.1 million, so this 2.182 million in premium savings more than covers the 900,000 K or so shortage portrayed by the finance chair. That shortage does not exist. Only one revenue line item, property taxes, will be down 1.4 million in 2026. Other revenue sources for 2026 are going up, and we have some expenses going down. See below for the premiums provided to us by the insurance company. I also attached it to this email. I also am including the explanation page again from the press conference. It clearly states the loss in revenue is for property taxes only. It also illustrates at the bottom of the page how we address these issues, health insurance change, edit, other, etc., because the budget you received already addressed this shortfall in property taxes. There is no financial reason for this budget to have major cuts. See, he's doing everything he can to get them from not making any kind of cuts at all. There was a question by a council member about the community center. Now listen to this. For the record, that question was asked of me by the council at the Finance Committee meeting I attended on September 9th. I answered that the money is included in my edit budget for 2026. I thought I was clear at that time with my answer. I don't break promises, but remember, I qualified that if the council pulled the same, listen to this, if the council pulled the same types of games with the 2026 budget that they did in 2025 and force edit to fund changes, then I will be unable to fund the community center. Lastly, I was never asked to this meeting, so I was surprised that my absence was such a big deal. Had I been asked to attend, I would have been there and answered questions as well. Best regards. Now, listen to me, Dan Ridenour, Mayor of Muncie. This is an important budget. You're not wanting them to cut anything. You would think that you would want to be there to argue your point, to shut them up, to shut them down if they start going down any kind of weird road. Why do you feel like you need to be invited to sit in City Hall auditorium? Why? Let me go ahead and tell you, Dan, on behalf of the people that matter, on behalf of your employers, on behalf of the true gangsters and bosses of the city of Muncie and Delaware County government, Dan, your presence is required. Nay, it is expected. We are demanding your presence at every city council meeting, at every fiscal committee meeting, at every meeting of any importance from now until the day you're not in city government. So, no more will your excuse, oh, I didn't know I could show up. Nobody told me. We would have brought the budget information and been able to answer the questions only if someone would have told us we would be talking about this. What's the name of the meeting? Oh, it's the finance committee meeting in order to discuss the proposed 2026 budget. Do you think that we need to take anything budget related? No, I don't see any questions coming up. They certainly won't talk about anything related to our jobs. What's your job? Well, I'm the city controller. What is that? I deal with all the money. It's the money in and out, and that's all I deal with. That's all I do. And you don't think that you should probably take facts and figures and maybe a pencil and a blank sheet of paper, maybe a calculator, maybe your cell phone with a calculator on it, maybe a laptop with your files on it? You don't think you can walk your dumb ass up the steps to go get it? No, I'll do it tomorrow. Listen.
Sorry.
Hold on. Controllers, you're invited and demanded to be at these meetings always too. Go ahead.
So they did mention in the meeting, I thought I remembered hearing it. It was real quick and it was only once, but I found it. They mentioned switching from IU Health to Anthem.
Okay.
So we have a company name.
So they did say that? I didn't know they said that.
Yeah, it's like at 30, 31, 32 minutes in.
Are you saying that at last night's meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I thought I remembered hearing it.
And you went back and looked?
I went,
oh my. All right. Tell me the time.
Like 31, start at 31 minutes.
31 minutes.
It might be a little too far back, but I've been letting it play.
That's
while
all
I was
right.
Typing my comments. So I'm at 33:53. They've already said it, but it hasn't been. It's before Wegley gets up.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry for interrupting your tirade. It was beautiful.
No, I love it. Yeah, this is great. I'm glad. Oops, there you are. All right. Let's see. For him to imply he didn't know he'd be there just shows what a liar he is. And to behave that way is the way he is to the council is appalling. He holds the majority. He should be happy. Yeah, right. I don't get it. It's going to go his way. Sit down, shut up, play the game, let them do their thing. You're going to get it. You're going to get it, man. I don't understand. Does he think that is it possible that Larry
hold on though. Yes, he holds the majority. I get that. But in this whole thing with the insurance, Garrett wanted it. Oh, what did Garrett do here recently? Oh, he's one of them that Dan added to his side to get the majority. He wanted the information.
Yeah.
Dale, who's always been the voice in the vote for the mayor, also wanted the information.
Yep.
So it's not a cut and dry thing.
That's right.
So he has to send a nasty email to reassert his authority and show those Republicans that he's in charge.
To remind them, hey, you're Republicans. You might have forgot.
Yeah, you might have forgot, but you're supposed to do what I say.
Yeah, you get back in line. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and the clinic is like $70,000 a month, which that's, we've reduced that greatly with the new healthcare that we're going to.
Can you talk a little bit more about that for us? Do you mind? I'm sorry.
No, you're
I'm so
fine.
sorry.
No, I understand. This is a tense subject, so I understand. Yes, could you, Councilman Basham would like to know a little bit more about switching from IU Health to Anthem.
We're able to save close to $1 million on that. That doesn't include the clinic savings that we're also saving per month. We're paying $70,000.
So Nora said it. She must know it. He didn't correct her. So I will have to believe that that's a correct statement. So I would hope that she's making her own call. Because you call up and say, "Hello, I'm Councilor Nora Powell. I'm the District 2 City Councilor, Finance Chair of the City of Muncie. I'm wanting to find out about this information. Oh, I need to verify who you are. Hold, please." And then they put her on hold, and then they call, and they're like, "Hey, Shireen, we've got Nora Powell on the line. She's saying she's a city councilor. Like, is there a way to verify that?" "Yeah, she is. Just don't give her anything." And they come back, and they're like, "Well," and then Nora's got to fight it. And then finally gets it. I don't know. She should just start calling. You don't need these people to help you. Just start calling. That's what I would do. That's how you look into shit, investigate stuff. You just start going. If it's nice to have clues and threads and rabbit holes to run down. But if you don't have that, if you don't have a door to go through, some people like to, some people like to pick the easy way and go through the window and crawl in that way or do whatever. I much rather hook together a couple claymores and go through the hole in the wall. That's a much easier way, in my opinion. It's a contract with a government entity, so the contract, and it's public information. Anybody could get it, but it's not that hard. Now I could see, Shireen playing a little weirdness, but eventually Nora would get it. Eventually I could get it. I ought to try to get it and then give it to Nora. And we'll talk about giving it to Nora here in a minute, because I got shitty with her and their counselor earlier today too. I got to call him and let him know that wasn't really for him, but I tagged him in it. I'll explain.
A month now, IU Health for workplace services, and that's going to be reduced in half at the very minimum. So, yeah.
So he did go with that. So that's That's interesting. That's rather interesting. So going back here to this, I'm just shocked that Dan felt all those things, that he wasn't invited and whatever. Now, I'll tell you, when I found out again that he had sent an email at 2 p.m. on the 23rd that I still did not have. And then again, he sent an email at 8:30 a.m. on the 24th that I had not been sent. I kind of went through the roof, and I was kind of over it with all of the 9 council members and their attorney. Because keep in mind, since the 5th of September, I have been attempting to get any and every email that the council and or the mayor sends back and forth to, with, for, from, and any other prepositions you want. Those prepositions, for, above, beyond, that's what I thought. And I've been struggling to get them. Now, you would say, well, that's just Dan. He doesn't give it. No, I've been asking them from the council. Moreover, I've been asking them from the council and the council's attorney. And I always get stuff from them quickly, like within a day, 2 days at most. I don't ever wait on stuff. They get stuff to me quickly. Well, thank you. So, when I first sent the first request, I sent a very generic request telling them what I was looking for, thought it would be easy. And after not getting a couple, after I knew emails had been sent back and forth, I was getting a little impatient. And so I went crazy and let them know it. And then I got like one email. And I'm like, no, there's got to be more emails than this. So they just started trickling in. And I'm like, man, that's not okay. So once I found out that there were emails that I had not received, I got a little hot under the collar. And I told you last night, I emailed several email reminders back to 3 people, to Democrat Nora Powell, the finance chair, to a opposing party, a Republican, Dale Basham, and to their attorney, Dan Gibson. And I've still just not been getting anything. So I then sent this email 10 hours ago. I sent emails, ... How are we on trying to compile emails that Nora or any other councilor has sent to anyone in the administration reference the budget? I then said, how are we trying to compile emails that Nora or any other counselor has sent to anyone in the administration reference the budget? as well as the emails back to the council from the mayor or anyone else from the administration reference the budget. This should be a simple request. I understand that Councilor Powell and I have been adversarial in the past, but I am attempting to get this information out that I believe would be at least somewhat helpful to the cause of better government for Muncie. This shouldn't be as difficult as it appears to currently be. I mean, this is how the administration handles requests. Send. So I sent that at about 12:30 this afternoon. And I then proceeded to receive the following. Let's see if I can. Second here. Okay, 24. See where we are here. I want this to load. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Looking for I'm going down one by one. All right, we're getting close. 204. Our first email was from Nora Powell. Let's read this together. See if this is shitty or not. Because if it is, I'm going to go crazy. Mr. Bilbrey, I needed to get clarification from our council attorney to a question I had pertaining to your APRA request. I will forward all applicable emails shortly. Nora, you've been doing this long enough. You know it's all public records, dude. You get off this shit. You know what she's probably asking? Is the attachment that Dan sent, does that need to be, should that be sent to? I'm going to ask her after the show. I'm going to file back and be like, what was your question? I'm interested in what your question was. She wouldn't technically have to tell me that, but I'm interested nonetheless. Okay, so she told me that. What time was that? She told me that. She told me that at okay. Nora told me that at 7:02 p.m. Okay. So then while we were preparing for the show at 8:12, okay. So then, wait a minute. I want to see if she's started like a dump on me here. I think she did. Yeah. She's now sent me like a dump of emails. So she sent me one email that contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 emails between her and the police department about the budget. And then she sent, so she sent this to Craig Wright and to Matt Wegley, and she copied the city council, but she did not include Dan Ridenour. Craig, in the salary ordinance adopted last May, Ordinance 1625, there's no salaried position for foreman listed under the Parks Department, even though there is a foreman line in the proposed Parks budget. There is an hourly position, working foreman, listed in the Parks salary ordinance, $26.53 an hour. I'm just confirming that the working foreman and the foreman are the same thing, PCR superintendent. Confirming both 2024 and 2025 have 26 pay periods. What is the total cost of the city of the 5% raises that AFSCME, the civilian employees, and the department heads received for this year? I think Mayor Ridenour provided that total earlier in the year, but I'm not able to find it. Thank you, Nora. So then that is the emails that Dan then responded to that we started this out to. Now, Nora then continues, and she's like still sending them to me. Okay. She now sent, another question from District 2 to Craig. What is the estimated total cost of the 4% raise for 2026? Police, fire, AFSCME, elected officials, civilian employees, and department heads. Thank you. She sent that. She then sent Craig, the estimated miscellaneous revenue for 2026 is $10.7 million. What do you estimate the 2026 income to be per month for the general fund? What do you expect the general fund monthly operation and salary expenses for 2026 to be? Does those two, I don't know, do those two totals stay fairly consistent throughout the year? Thank you. And she sent that today at 2:58 p.m. Okay, here's a question about the health insurance. Mr. Bilbrey, the emails sent this evening include all the emails sent as of today, September 25th, to and from the city administrating pretending the 2026 budget. Thank you, Sarah. That's the perception I had as well after the press conference, the interview on WTHR, and the information provided during the finance meetings. The reduction in the property tax revenue in 2026 was a result of Senate Bill 1. And this is Sarah writing to the mayor. Mayor, that would be great if we don't have to make cuts. However, as I recall, you specifically blamed Senate Bill 1 for the deficit at your press conference. I checked the handout, and it does not say challenges of Senate Bill 1. When Chairperson Powell shared what the DLGF told her, I was confused because that is how you've presented it. I used this word at last meeting, and I think it's applicable here too. Your response to Nora's email sounds disingenuous. I'm not certain why there's so much subterfuge when we're dealing with numbers and the fundamentals of what the city does. We're a small city with limited resources, and we should be starting with the same facts and figures. There will always be disagreements on what to do with some of it, but it could be so much more smooth and more professional if everything is transparent from the start. This has been needlessly frustrating process. Wow. Okay, let me go down here and start. I want to make sure that we're getting these in order.
Who sent that last one?
That was Sarah Gullion.
That was Sarah. Okay, that's what I thought. The brain farted.
No. You're fine. That's absolutely fine. Let's see. Give me a second here. Okay. City Council, I don't want to confuse anyone for responding to a question, so we know that. Okay, so then to that answer, Nora wrote back, I was told DLGF is making no reductions in property taxes in 2026. You've reported the city will see a 1.4 million decrease in property tax revenue. Can you explain what will be reduced and why? Thank you. To that, Dan says, Nora, let's be clear. Yes, we and other cities were allowed to increase our max levy, and we did. Maybe that is what you mean with your comment about property taxes. However, as you know, we don't receive that full amount and haven't for years. Muncie has to deal with the circuit breaker. After you apply the adjustments from the circuit breaker, we are down revenues in property taxes. So are most cities across the state. The net result for Muncie on our property taxes will go from $18.384 million from 2025 to $17.129 million in 2026. When you add in the other portions of government that receive property taxes, fire pension, police pension, parks, Beech Grove, these are also received net cuts in the revenue. The total loss in the city agencies for property taxes is $1,436,096.02 for 2026. This was information provided in the handout at the press conference that some of you were able to attend. I assure you that we have less property tax revenue coming in 2026. We have other increasing revenue sources, other savings have been applied, and edit funds that make us fine. No cuts to jobs or salaries are necessary. And then that's when Sarah said that would be great if we don't have to make cuts. This seems to be disingenuous. This has been a needlessly frustrating process. Then Nora says, thank you, Sarah. That's the perception I had as well after the press conference, the interview on WTHR, and the information provided during the finance meetings. The reductions in property tax revenue in 2026 was a result of Senate Bill 1. And that's a good question. What are those? What are those other sources of revenue? Again, I think that's when they're going to say building permits, record request money, small bullshit. Okay. I then have one more email from Nora. Okay, and that's where she asked Craig what the miscellaneous was. Craig then wrote back and said, Nora, when we complete the budget, we are focusing on the year and not monthly. The State Board of Accounts is only concerned with the balance of the funds in the budget at the year end. We have a balanced budget that we entered into Gateway for the year, and we will make sure that it is balanced budget by year end 2026. You could take the miscellaneous revenues and divide it by 12 to get the average, but the monthly amounts vary. And that's his answer there. And that's the end of those emails. So we're not done with this budget process. The council's done meeting. The next time the council will meet on this will be a week from this coming Monday. Well, I was, and then I fixed it, Andrew. I saw that, but I've now, I fixed it. I saw that, and then corrected the issue. And that's the problem. I hate how and that's nobody's. I mean, it's my fault. It's how they send the bullshit. It's how emails go. I hate how they do that. When an email is sent, it sends the most recent, and I've always hated that about that. So yeah, I was reading that in reverse order. We've still got the basic breakdown of what's going on with that. The number one thing, okay, now I want to go and listen to what the mayor has to say in his community update. I'm sure he put on quite an amazing community update today. He had one of these, which I don't know that I guess this was actually from yesterday. So let's listen to this and see what he has to say here. I have to wonder the reason for the fear-mongering presser, so he could look like a hero when no cuts have to be made. And that's just Dan's MO. I hate how he always does that. He has this major problem with communicating honestly. And then he goes out on this terror presser, and then it's like he has this big issue with communicating with the council, even when he owns the majority of the council. I don't know why he can't just go in and be kind of at ease. I'm at ease. It's so ridiculous. I get so sick of the way that he communicates or doesn't communicate.
Hello, Muncie. Dan Ridenour here. Today is Wednesday. It is September 24th, and a couple.
That's fantastic. Does that buzz go throughout? Do you guys hear that?
Of kind of bigger announcements last week at the Muncie Redevelopment Commission. We had two different developments that we're going to be working with. We've been working on these a long time. One is the Muncie Mall, and what they're going to be doing at the Muncie Mall is they're going to tear down the J.C. Penney and the Sears and the old theater, the theater that was there. Their intent is to take that area between Outback on the eastern side and Panera Bread, and they intend to put about 5 restaurants along McGalliard. So those outlots will be a big part of the development.
Okay, I can't deal with that. Let's try to do this. Somebody needs to tell them that someone needs to tell them that you can mess up video, but you can't mess up audio. You're okay.
September 24th.
Nope. Wow, it's not my stuff. It's across all of their recording. That is horrible.
And a couple of kind of bigger announcements last week at the Muncie the theater. The outlots will be a big part of the development. Then they're going to move the entrance to the mall back further, back to where Shoe Encore was. And that will be the entrance. It looks like they've got 4 different stores, 4 different sites that they're planning with. That will be McGalliard facing. And that will be part of phase 1. There's some other work they're going to do on phase 1, but those are the big things. They're going to get this ready. They're in talks with them.
They're in talks with engineering. They're ready to start. demo work. So pretty soon in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see the JCPenney and Sears coming down along that old theater. Just so you know, they're reworking it. They've got already signed to move some of the something together so that there will be, when you come in it, will be all the tenants will be together, and that will also be a really good thing. So we're really excited about what that can mean for the community and what it means for that area. It's all about the building value, not about only those inside the mall, but also for those stores like Target and TJ Maxx and the others that don't want to make sure that move forward. And so we're really excited about the whole property. And again, we announced this for certain with the whole properties here last week at the MRC meeting, and that it's been shared on a couple of different social media posts as well by others who were aware of that and or we were at the meeting. So we're excited about it, and we're looking forward to that work beginning. A second thing that I want people to know about this Thursday, so I guess it's tomorrow night's planning mission will be the restaurant that's going to go toward the south side. Now, this is one of the first steps, but the first step is going through the planning zoning board, and it will be the new McDonald's. This wasn't the original location we had hoped for. Listen to me. The fact that McDonald's is going in on the south side I don't consider that like a restaurant going in. They need to quit saying restaurant going in. They need to say fast food chain. There is a difference between a restaurant and a fast food chain. So is this what he planned on the whole time when he was saying that, oh, we're going to have a sit-down restaurant in front of Southway Plaza and we're going to bring restaurants to the south side? Did he always mean, White Castle? I mean, that would actually be cool. Did he mean McDonald's the whole time? That's nuts. I don't know. Yes, Stumblefoot. It'll be out in front of Anytime Fitness. It's a great location. Where the Great Clips is, it'll be in that area right at 29th and Macedonia. And so it'll be in McDonald's. So they're going to be opening up on the south side. We're very happy about this. This is one of many steps, though. So this will be as long as they get the approval. We're excited, which they did get the approval. The south side. And then lastly, there's a new subdivision that we're going to be doing. We've already got store sold out, and that's available, 100% sold out. So we have a local builder who's going to develop a subdivision with 42 homes. And the nice thing about this is, one, we partnered with in Muncie Sanitary District. Where's this going to be? Delaware Regional Development Corporation and the county commissioners, with the support of the city, Muncie, through the Muncie Redevelopment Commission, come up with a way to help in that subdivision. It's going to have 42 homes. These will be on the northwest side. Oh, this is going to be up there in the area where the city annexed up by Farmington. Go to the gym and then destroy any progress with some McDonald's. Yeah. So these will be homes for sale at market price. We're really excited about that particular piece as well. And then lastly, I think we finished the paving on Meeker. That was an area that was desperate need. And so I'm really thrilled that that's handled. Burlington handled. Next will be University, which is, I believe, coming up in the next 2 days. That will get paved at least a portion of it, and then the rest of it once the sidewalk work is done. And then a couple of other areas, which I think one I'll mention next week, but I think some people will be really excited about. And then I know we're doing Air Park and that area up there with all those businesses. It's in really sad shape. And so we want to make it better for them and see if we can bring in some additional businesses up there in Air Park by the airport on the north side of the city. So that's the update for today. Hope you're all having a great day, and we'll talk to you next time. I think, he needs to have me come in and do his voiceovers for him. Like, maybe, you know what we could do? I have it. It just dawned on me. He can put his hands behind him, and I can put my hands through his armpits, and I can be playing with things in front of him, and I can be doing his voice, and he can just be opening his mouth, and I can be smashing food on him and hitting in the head with a hammer and stuff. And that's what we're doing. Kate likes it, and so that's what we'll do. And Dan will be like, his teeth, he'll be missing teeth and have a black eye and a goose egg, and I'll be flopping around his hands, and I'll be doing the voice, and his mouth will just be flopping. And I think more people would watch that. I think people would watch that. So, listen, there's a lot more going on with the budget. I'm interested to see what the council does. I think it was very telling that Dale Basham said that they're not going to agree on any of the amendments. So I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. One of two things is going to happen. One of two things will happen. The council, the Democrat portion of the council, 4 of them, will make amendments to zero out the deputy controller and the communications director, which is Channel 60, which is Amber, and Matt Wegley, the deputy controller. The 4 of them, one of them, or a couple of them, they will make an amendment to zero those out. And that will fail 5-4. 5 Republicans will vote no. 4 Democrats will vote yes, and it will fail. And when it does, Jerry and Brandon are going to have some explaining to do. Okay? So just FYI. Or the Democrats won't even mess with doing it because they know it'll fail. So those are the 2 things that will happen there. Everything else will basically fail down partisan line, and that's sad. It's really sad. It's really sad whichever way it happens. They need to be doing the best thing for Muncie. I don't know what Dan is doing is the best thing for Muncie. I think we're just in the very beginning of a lot of uneasiness over the next year. I think as we go in to 2026, that's going to be a really rocky, uneasy time for the city ahead of the 2027 election, which will be even more rocky. And then the other thing, the fire department that was on resolution, the resolution to start the whole bullshit with the fire department on Tillotson, that Dale Basham pulled, and he took it off out of consideration last month. It's back on the agenda for this month. And I have some questions for Dan about the appropriations nonsense that he's been talking about. Oh, it's okay if we do it just at the end of the year. We were going to do it at the end of the year. I challenge you. Andrew Pop just messaged and said, I've been informed to tell you that you're reading the emails backwards. Well, that can only be none other than Nora Powell telling him that. Nora, I know we don't like each other. That's cool. We continue hating each other. All we got to do, whatever. But sometimes if we both agree on the same thing, it is what it is. All right. I guess it is what it is. But I'm telling you, listen, talk to your counselors. And if they come to you with these appropriations at the end of the year, vote against those appropriations because it's horse shit. Teach Ridenour, and I know it's bad because there's going to be people that get punished, but that falls on Ridenour, not you guys. It's Ridenour's fault. He might say, well, the law says we can do it. That is the floor, not the ceiling. That is the bare minimum, not what is expected of him. That's not how things should be done in the city of Muncie. We expect better. We expect more. We expect him to come to the council and go through you guys the proper way before just doing shit on his own. Make it sting him. Make it sting. That's the only way we're going to change this stuff. You have to make it sting. Now, you won't be able to because he's got 5 counselors and you only have 4. So it is what it is. You might as well put the fight up and let those other 5 counselors take the fall with him and let us bang on Jerry and let us bang on Brandon for doing whatever the hell it is that they're doing. I understand. Look, Brandon, you're not a Republican. Jerry, you're not a Republican. You're not a progressive, far left, whacked out Democrat, but you're just a Democrat. Just because you're not progressive doesn't mean you're Republican. Okay? Lastly, you know who's not been here in a very long time? Tweety Bird. We haven't seen Tweety Bird since the Charlie Kirk deal. I think she thinks we're all psychopaths, and I really hate that because I always enjoy even how crazy she was on some things. I liked how she balanced stuff out. I like to have that argument, and I don't like the fact. That to me that is very alarming. If she could just say, "No, you guys all are bad because you have an opinion," that lets us know how scary situations are. If that could be her mentality. I hope she comes back. If she doesn't, it's her loss, but scary times. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. Hey, remember, tonight's the last night. It's Thursday, thank God, but that doesn't mean my work ends. We're going to have a busy day tomorrow, okay? Be sure to remember Twin Lions tomorrow, about 5:30, 5:45. The program starts at 6, 1327 Broad Street, Newcastle, Indiana. Remember, if you're at home and you don't come, you're not going to be able to tune in and watch it tomorrow. If you don't come to Twin Lions, you won't get to watch it until Saturday at 3 p.m. So that's the deal. All right. And I understand people got shit going on. I understand things happen. If you can't make it, that's fine. But if you can, we've got some merchandise. We're going to have some good time. We're going to have some talk. It's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. This is Rachel's baby. I told her I'd play along with it. We can do it. I think it's going to be a fun time, but we'll see what goes on. Be sure you go check out the YouTube page there, the podcast page, the Facebook page, the Twitter page. You can email us and you can do all that shit. Remember to subscribe to the channel here if you have not already. That is something that you could do. Like, share, subscribe, communicate over here, communicate down there, do all that shit. And then lastly, before we leave, just one more time, for those people from Madison County, if you're interested in the Madison County proposed budget that I got, you can get that QR code, click it, do it, and see what you think about it. We will see you guys back here. We'll see you guys back here Sunday night, and hopefully we'll see you over on the other channel on Saturday. So you guys take care. Have a great weekend. God bless each and every one of you. Be safe, and goodbye.